Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I'm going to give you a very simple list of things that you can do to prepare your home for emergencies. So thank you everyone for being here. I took a few days off to spend time with the family. I hope all of your holidays were amazing. Something a little strange happened to me, so this is kind of going to be one of my beverage chats. I'm sipping on some magnesium and I'm just taking a calm approach to this. When you are in this job that I'm in, there are random times where some of your videos get more popular than others, and this happened on my Instagram. I have right around 300K views on a reel that I posted, and the funny thing about this reel is I got the quote wrong and I had to actually edit it in the caption. It was all about a grid down scenario, and then in the caption I just had some great tips on what you can do in the event of a grid down. And someone I'm not really a fan of was quoted in that reel. If you want to follow me on Instagram and figure that out, I don't want to go into it right now, but it brought up a lot of conversation. I feel like when things like this happen to small creators like myself, they're supposed to get excited, and I did that. I got excited, and then I kind of got a little panicky because in the comments it really just started to show how clearly unprepared and unaware most of society is, and it got me really thinking that preparedness has now become political, unfortunately, and I think that that's not where we need to be going with this. Even talking about my grid down attack 2 videos back, I got some comments that really just didn't see the point. They just attacked like my moral character and called me all of these terrible names, called me a racist, and yeah, again, I try and ignore hate like that, but they're totally missing the point, and it makes me nervous for the future, just like it should make all of you, because if our neighbors aren't prepared, we are probably the ones that are going to be taking care of them. And I always have an open door policy, don't get me wrong. If a neighbor comes and they truly need something, I will do everything I can to help them, but if there are that many people unprepared, there's only going to be enough stuff that I can give out or help out with, and I just am getting a bit frustrated with that. So I decided to compile a list for you. I think it is a pretty basic list. So if you're coming on here and if you're listening to this list and if you're thinking, hey, she forgot this, this, and this, that's fine. I just was thinking of something basic. So if you want to drop in the comments some things that I may have forgotten, that's totally fine. I just thought of maybe a top 10 list that a new person, a beginner prepper, could do to just start preparing for these emergencies. I say it all the time that we prepare for just that, emergencies, uncertainty, really just about anything. It's nothing specific. And unfortunately, society, social media, everything under the sun has made preparedness or taking care of your family essentially this political thing. And I guess I knew that in the back of my mind, but reading the comments on that reel was just super eye-opening. I almost just took it all down, but you know, it's good for business, we shall say. So hopefully some people saw that and said, wow, I'm really not prepared. Maybe I should grab an extra jug of water. Even if they do that, that will be helping them a little bit. And I feel like it's attainable. It shouldn't be this obscure thing that, you know, people have in their homes. It should just be part of everyday life just to stock up. And I know a lot of you feel the same way. And then a lot of the comments said that I was fear-mongering. And I used to always say, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to spread fear. But I got a comment the other day that I totally agree with, and that is a little fear is okay. I agree with that. You know, maybe you should be a little scared. If that is going to get you to prepare, get you to get that extra jug of water or extra can of food, then yeah, maybe that's a good thing. I myself used to be terrified. I used to have this huge anxiety about what is going to come, and that is partially part of some things that I experienced as a child, but I mean, we all have our reasons for preparedness is what I'm trying to get at, and if it makes you get more prepared, then yeah, maybe you should be a little scared. But my message that I'm always trying to bring to you is awareness. Just try and be aware. Don't trust all of your sources. Do some research and just really look into what they're feeding you, because 9 times out of 10 it's poison, and you're going gonna have to dig a lot deeper. It's a lot of effort, but I feel like these conversations, these chats that I'm giving you can help out. And I know a lot of the comments are helping a lot of people. So I really appreciate the conversation in the comments. Keep it coming. Let's get into this list. If you are new here, hi, hello. I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. I try and make videos 5 times a week, all about life here in Northern Colorado. I like to teach you to be prepared on a budget. And if you like that kind of thing, we would love it if you became part of our little YouTube family. Let's get into number 1 on the list, and that's gonna be water. So water is super important. You need it to survive. We talk about water often on the channel, and I suggest getting all types of water storage. So it could be a case of water, could be jugs of water. We've talked about water in aluminum cans. Natural Grocers has those if you have one of those in the area, but I've seen them at Walmart as well. While you're there, go ahead and pick up 20 or 25 gallon jugs that are empty. You can use that after you wash them out and cleanse them to take to a spring and fill it up for clean drinking water, or maybe you have a stream, creek, or some type of body of water near you that you can go to, fill it up and bring it home and then purify that. I am going to go as far as to say, in the event of any emergency, you're not able to get into your car and put those jugs in, maybe look into a foldable wagon. We have one of those. That way, if we need to, we could just put the jugs in, wheel it to the river close to us. If we're not going to the spring, wheel it back and then put some purification tabs in it. It's just something that I thought of that I haven't mentioned in a while, so I'm mentioning that. And then you could also look into IBC tubs, and that's more of a long-term storage situation, and that is at a larger scale. You can look into rain storage in your area. If you're in Colorado like me, we just don't get a lot of rain, so it doesn't make sense for me to try and store rain, but there are ways to store water. You need it to survive, and I suggest everyone get on board with that. Next on the list is going to be food. I'm not going to go into food storage completely because that's majority of what we talk about on my channel, but think of foods that you like, think of foods that your family enjoys, and then store extra. I always say, go to the store and buy 1 for now, 2 for later, and then at the end of the month, you'll have more of a stock and you could have confidence moving into the future in case you can't get to food, in case your food is contaminated, or hey, maybe you don't have a paycheck that month and you just don't have the ability to go to the grocery store because you prepared for this exact type of scenario. So I suggest storing foods in all types of ways. You can do canned food, dry food, you can store it in Mylar, you can store it in buckets, you can just store it on your shelf. Most of the expiration dates are a load of BS, so definitely look into that. Some, have their time and place, but expiration dates were created by an agency that I don't completely trust. So do your own research. Food is important as well as water. Next on the list is going to be medical items. So things that you typically are using every day that you need to stock. And that can go as far as contacts or eyeglasses, medications that you must have. Maybe you're more of an herbal remedy person like myself. Get your handle on some of those herbs, get a backstock of those herbs, maybe get some seeds of those herbs and find some sort of indoor growing system, which I'm super excited. My Christmas present is coming. I'm creating a little hydroponic system down in my basement here so I can grow food throughout the year, and in the event of an emergency, I will be able to grow food indoors. So I think that's pretty fun. Those are on sale right now if you are looking into some sort of hydroponic system. Let me know if you do that in the comments below. I would love some feedback on that, and maybe you have some experience that everyone else would like to hear about. On the subject of medications, we're going to go through first aid. So I would suggest getting bandages, maybe some rubbing alcohol. Medical people in the crowd, if you want to drop down some of your favorites that an average person could have on hand, that would be awesome. But I always suggest finding something to clean a wound, to stop blood. I like using Yarrow packets, but you could use some sort of bleed stop system. A tourniquet would be great. Again, large bandages, some way to keep some cool on and some heat on. There are packs out there that do both. Depending on what injury you have, there are a lot of things that you might want to keep on hand, so look into that. Number 4 on the list is going to be self-defense, and that is going to look differently for just about everyone. If you're into self-defense, you know that it is important to have a variety of ways to defend yourself in your arsenal, so definitely look into that. Even if you are an expert, head to the range, practice your shot, even take a class if that is your defense of choice. I always suggest a few staples that I have linked in my Amazon store. I'm not going to go into those now, but if you want to check it out, you definitely can. You are supporting the channel by a small percentage if you do that. But you know me, I am the cheapest person you know, so if you find something cheaper, go for that first. Number 5 on the list is going to be paper documents. So important papers, birth certificates, social security cards, that for your family as well. Maybe a deed to your house, certain warranties you may need. There are so many different documents that we have, and a lot of us have converted them to a digital record. And while that is fine, I really suggest you have it in some sort of fire and waterproof box in a safe somewhere in a physical form, because if you need to grab and go and the grid is down, that would be a good thing to have in your arsenal. And then while we're here on paper documents, I'm gonna throw in some maps, I'm gonna throw in maybe some recipe books, but everything is going to be on paper. Number 6 on the list is not really a physical item, but I want everyone to be prepared in a physical way. So get your body moving just in case you need to do something out of the norm. Maybe you need to leave the home. Maybe you need to get on foot with your family. It's super important to get your body right as well as your mind. So that leads into number 7, and that is your mental health. I've talked about these two going hand in hand to create a balanced person. And I feel like a lot of people are struggling. I myself certainly am not perfect, but I'm working on it every single day. I wanted to do a video in the future about some ways that I have completely changed my life for the better. And I know a lot of people out there have been doing these things for centuries, and those people have just been thriving. So I am going to create that video coming up here soon. But when I'm talking about mental health, just really try and stay off of those devices. That will help you in more ways than one, but it might even get you off of your feet and get you walking. Of course, I encourage listening to music, so if that's on your device, go ahead and pick it up, but that will always help your mental health. It gives me a smile. I've talked about this in videos prior, but I am a new brand partner for the brand Amare. They have a bunch of items on their website, but I specifically am taking Happy Juice, and it's just juice that I'm drinking every single day. It's lowering my cortisol levels to just really get my body into a balanced mode like I was talking about. I was in fight or flight, postpartum, and anxiety. But back to it, Happy Juice has just been such an amazing game changer. I've been taking it for 2 weeks, and I've just seen a complete difference. I am fun again, playful. I have energy to actually want to get up and start getting my body back to what it was. I think it's amazing, and it's just what I needed. I am not a fan of something that is going to fix all your problems. I believe in consistency and hard work, but sometimes you need something to give you that extra push, and Happy Juice is just that. I have a $10 off coupon. If you want it, let me know. It's in the links in the description box below. If you click on that, you can get all of the information, or if you want to talk to me personally about it, just shoot me an email at mountainmommaliving@gmail.com, and I will talk your ear off about it because it's truly such a great drink. But mental and physical health is so important for everybody, and if you're able to, you need to be prepared in that way as well. Number 7 on the list is just going to be a way to cook food if you don't have power. So maybe you need a little solo stove. In my last video, I showed you how to cook with tea lights, which was super fun, but not very quick. So maybe look into some extra propane, maybe look into some sort of pellet system. I have a pellet grill that I did a review on a few months back. That one's really cool, but there are a lot of inexpensive options out there. So I suggest looking into a way that you can cook food in the event of an emergency. Number 8 on the list is going to be just basic blankets and ways to stay warm, whether that be an extra sweater for your family and yourself stored in a certain spot. I think it's really important to stay warm. We've had some very cold days here in Colorado with no sun. We have been cooped up. It's great to spend time with one another, but it got us thinking, what if we lose power in one of those times? We have a new baby. Adults can kind of suck it up for the time being, but I feel like it's important to just have some extra warmth in your home or a way to get you some warmth. Number 8 on this list, I'm losing my numbers again. I tend to do that if you're new here. That is going to be a way to power something. So I suggest looking into a generator. I was lucky enough to be gifted them, so it's definitely something that you would have to save up for, but I suggest looking into one that has some solar energy capabilities. I feel like there are some great ones on the market, some very compact ones. Jackery makes a great model as well if you want to look into that, but a backup source of power is going to be very important. I've seen people even DIY some backup sources of power. Maybe I will do that for our next little try it out Tuesday or something. Number 9 on this list is going to be a little bit of a miscellaneous, but that's going to be tools and flashlights, just extra gear to have in your home in the event of an emergency. Maybe you need to fix something. A multi-tool is always a great thing to have, but flashlights as well. So that's going to lead into 10, and that is going to be an extra source of lighting. I just found one on Amazon. It's a 4-pack of solar lights, and it's $19.99. Honestly, they are so cheap. And in a power outage in the middle of the night, it's just great to have something other than your phone to set out so you can see what you're doing. Alrighty, my friends, that is going to wrap up our list. Again, please let me know in the comments below some things I have forgotten, some things that you might swap out, some things that you might add to this list. Please remember, this is a list for a beginner to be prepared. Again, I was not aware that this many people were unprepared. And a lot of people are missing the point. They're just swooping in and they're just dividing us more. And honestly, that's what they want. They want us to be divided. So why are you giving them what they want? We are in this together. It may seem a little we are the world, but I truly do believe in a positive, happy society at the end of the day. If you can help your friends or neighbor in a time of need, that is really what is going to save us in the event of an emergency. So with that being said, I'm going to catch you in the next video. If you're new here, I would love it if you hit the subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.